Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a quick bit of feedback on this solar panel. It's only 120 watts and how well it does to keep the battery charged compared to bigger panels. Like always, I do all the things that they say you can't do, so let me show you that first. This is a Redarc quality solar panel. It's fairly lightweight. Like I said, 120 watts. I've got a bit of aluminium on the front. I don't think it made any difference anyway, because with it mounted at the front edge of the roof rack, there wasn't any wind noise anyway. The wind noise starts when you've got it a bit further back. I've done a fair bit of testing with that on different vehicles. This has been well used. You can see the Redarc word has even faded off. Panel's pretty clean because the car got washed recently, including the panel. This is what I call a temporary setup. If it's more permanent, then it's going to be permanent, but that's what I'm doing, testing different panels, batteries, and regulators on different vehicles. I've done it for over 10 years. So we've got a temporary wiring system of the wire and the Starlink wire going straight in the 120 window. Crazy. So the wire comes in, can't remember the size of it, but it's more than you need. Trying to keep the size down to fit it through the window gaps, but size up for avoiding voltage drop. The wire just goes across the top of the K-on storage shelf, back down over this side, and I've got the 20, I think it's the Redarc, it's the 20 watt charger, whatever it is, 20 amp charger, you know what I mean. And the solar plugs directly into it. It tells you it's doing something at the moment, and then it plugs to the Anderson plug, which plugs into my wiring system and runs down a wire all the way to the front of the vehicle. That's the first thing they'll tell you can't do. It's too far, you need to go direct to the battery. Battery, you say, well, if you haven't seen it before, let's have a look. And I didn't do the wiring, it was sort of how it was, and I've just added a couple of things to it and made sure that it's okay, if you know what I mean. Everything's well secured, but of course this would do with one of those K-on MIDI fuse holders and some tidy up, and we might get to that one day. But the main point of this video is to show you it's a Century dual force. It's the 75 AH version, and it does the job just fine. It's very comparable to a 55 AH Optima, which I've tested sitting here for many years. That's the main thing that matters, and the battery is in its lowest, weakest condition now than it has been for a whole week. Now let me give you the rundown on the driving and the solar. Before we move on, other interesting information. That is the size of the wire running to the back of the vehicle. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's bigger than this one. I would have run a bit bigger, but it's fine because it's been working for over 10 years. It was already in the vehicle. Everything's earthed to the body at the back of the vehicle, and this is one of the most reliable setups I've had in any of the vehicles. This is obviously an ARB tray. It's not my choice, it was already there, and all these cables were there. I might have tweaked them a little bit and moved that earth direct to the battery instead of wherever they had it. I think they had it going over to the alloy on the engine. It's just ridiculous. Why would you do that? When I say the battery's in its worst condition, okay, we've got a bit of voltage drop, of course, but you can see on that voltmeter, which is fairly accurate, it says 12.2 at the moment. I'll be quiet for a moment. Oh, the compressor, it was running, it's just stopped, so this is going to improve. Right, 12.4, and it's going to go up from there, which is not a bad voltage considering the fridge has been running all night on quite a cool setting. That's inside the lid, 3 degrees, so everything in there's around about the 0 mark, and we don't have any sun yet, so we're not going to be receiving much to the solar at this point. Some people believe you need a DC-DC charger to do this. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can keep it simple if you like and have a temporary setup like this, move it vehicle to vehicle. I've got a number of different regulators, Redarc, Victron, El Cheapo Kings, and Bada Bing Bada Boom. You know what, they all work, some better than others, but I don't think there's a lot in it, to be honest, other than the quality of them keep working. This one hasn't got any wires hanging off it with the Anderson plugs like the Kings ones do. I like this Redarc 20 amp, not 20 watt, 20 amp I believe, charger. And for this size panel it'll be fine, and the size of the wires is pretty decent, but nothing too big. This is just a double adapter setup because I've got only one Anderson plug I installed, and of course I needed two. So one, the double adapter, one goes straight to the regulator and the other one goes straight to the little power supply for the Starlink, and when I want to fire that up I just plug it in. The wire's hanging around here somewhere and it just plugs straight in. Now so what happens when you start the vehicle? Obviously this regulator is a regulator, so it senses the alternator's charging the battery and it backs off what it's doing. So at the moment, it's trying to do a little bit, but it hasn't got much to work with. Only 120 watt panel, and not much going on up there, is there? Queensland Sunshine Coast, beautiful one day, perfect the next, although there's a few spots of rain at the moment and it's quite cool, but that's okay. Back to the solar. Now, what I want to share with you is, for a week now, I've been running this panel with that battery and that fridge on the same setting. There's been days I haven't driven the vehicle, and I can tell you, with only a 120 watt panel to run that fridge and keep it cool in a climate of about top temps of 25, 26 and sunny all day, that panel's more than enough to keep the battery fully charged all day. It's all relative. Hot sunny day, hot car, hot in the car, fridge works harder, but you've got the sun to keep the battery charged. Obviously the days you drive is good, but the days where you're parked or limited driving, this is where having the panel on the roof helps if you're going to have your fridge running all the time, which I suggest you don't need to do that or this. It's just information for you to have a think about. If you're watching the videos recently, you would have seen I've got a 400 watt domestic house type solar panel, the sort of thing you get off, you know, the roof of a house right there, that was at least about 5 years old, and I saw up to 230, 250 watts at times during the day. The advantage of a panel like that is, and that's an independent battery system on that vehicle, that setup, it hasn't got the alternator in the engine set up with a SBI 12 as a backup plan. It's just relying on this only. With a 400 watt panel, what I found is, even when it's like this, it can be raining, and that solar panel, the 400 watt, will charge the battery, doesn't matter what size it is, within a couple of hours. It just absolutely pumps it, and it doesn't pump it, but it's well maintained. It goes bulk, it goes, you know, it goes through the stages, and it's only a couple of hours, even on a cloudy day, believe it or not. In warm weather, so up in Darwin, okay, pick a day, we're parked in the shade, as long as we get out in the sun for a little bit, an hour or two, we're good to go. So that's what you've got to consider. What weather are you going to be in? It's all relative. The hotter it is, the more the fridge is going to use, but then the hotter it is, most likely it's sunny and you've got your sun. Okay, it's a bit cloudy today. That fridge isn't in a hot car. We've got cooler temps because we haven't got sun. Fridge isn't going to be doing as much work, so we don't need as much solar panel. This one's going to be getting driven soon anyway, so not a big deal. I'd imagine it's on about 12.5 volts. So next morning, it's retaining very well. It could sit there all day, certainly with a solar panel on a cloudy day, and we'd know another story by tomorrow. And that'll be in another video. If you subscribe, turn the bell on. Just trying to share some of my setups I've done that are kind of cheap and reliable, and different ideas, wire sizes, regulators, what battery, what fridge. You saw it was the old Engel that's about 12 years old now, still going. No funny noises coming from that one, unlike the new one, but the new one still works, but it's got a bit of a fan noise. But that's another video. Could be on 4x4 diesel or 4x4 adventures. Catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. See ya.